So I guess we're just gonna have to tell them how. Welcome to the Beyond the BS podcast with Jack and Tristan. I'm sorry, Jack. I know you wanted to do the intro.
Yeah, it's fair. I didn't know when I was supposed to start talking.
All good. Welcome to episode 4, guys. We're back at it again. We're doing very consistent. We are recording almost instantaneously the next day. Next morning.
We want to push the content out as fast and as good quality as we can. But we're not going to talk too much about that because I'm sure we bored you to death last time with that.
Most definitely. I was thinking to myself last night how we were plugging it so much, and it was kind of crazy how much we were plugging. It was almost, I think, annoying listening back to it, but
if I was listening to that, I would have left. I'd have been like, nah, fuck these guys. They plug too much.
Yeah, sorry about that. Welcome to episode 4. Me and Jack. We got our we're all prepared. Nice tall glasses of water. We're just vibing. You know what I mean? Woke up early to record. We're just chilling right now.
And I really, really did promise you guys that I was going to talk about my hero. He's not my hero, but he means a lot. You know, he's kind of inspirational enough. Some people think he's the opposite, and I get that.
Special person between both of us because we both.
I want to talk about Gary V. And if Gary V, if you ever see this, come on the podcast, please. I would.
We both love you to death. We look up to you insanely. You are
like hop on here. But you know, you're a New Yorker. We're New Yorkers. Well, he's New Jersey, but
you go to
whatever.
garage sales. We sit in our bedrooms. You know, bada bing, bada boom. You can hop on any day. You know what I mean?
So that was my person I wanted to talk about. Check out his whatever, any social media. Gary V. He just defies the odds.
For younger generations especially, because the topic about college is something he addresses a lot, and it's very interesting to hear his perspective on it. And I definitely recommend some of his podcasts and just some of his seminars. You know what I mean?
100%. I agree. You all should take a listen. I don't even know the guy, but
you know, if you were to click off this podcast and go to any podcast, it'd either be Jordan Belfort's or Gary V's. No exceptions. Absolutely none.
That is a fact. We plugged our boy Jordan last episode 3. If you haven't checked it out,
he's also a pretty big inspiration, except for the fact that he's insanely in debt. He was almost, I think, respected after he went to jail because of how much he accomplished in such little time without being caught. That was really cool, in my opinion. Yeah, so we're done with the Jordan Belfort stock market this episode. Do
you know what I just read?
What?
Lamborghini is about to sell.
Sell what?
Lamborghini is about to sell its first yacht.
Lambo yacht? That's nuts. Holy. That's going to be sick.
Imagine being that rich. You could be like, yeah, I have a Lambo yacht.
That'd be pretty cool. I think my favorite Lamborghini might be the SUV. Especially since, okay, let me talk about something. We have a Lamborghini dealership coming to a street, a block away from both of us. It's crazy. Down the street from Jack is this if you just keep going straight down for a couple miles, there's a Lambo dealership.
Hey, yeah, there's some Miller Motor Cars that has Lambo. There's Bugatti hidden in the back, but I can't afford that place.
There's a legit Lambo dealership being built, like a brand new one, specifically.
Oh yeah.
And the new well, what's kind of funny is it's right next to a McDonald's. So
it's next to a McDonald's and a ghetto Chinese restaurant.
And then, Neighborhood Signs is a store also next to it. It's kind of the worst location out of all the car shops.
So I'm looking at this Lambo SUV. It's kind of fire. The Lambo Urus.
Mm-hmm. It's so good. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite, I guess, newer generation cars. Because I'm an old fan of cars. I don't think I'm more of a car.
Yeah, Tristan's a big car guy. I don't know too much about cars, but I know the basics. I've been to a few car shows.
Yeah, I haven't had the luxury of going to one, but
we should go when COVID's over. I used to go. I've been twice to the Jacob Javits in the city, the New York City car show, and
Hmm.
They have like a lot of unreleased cars. They're like models that aren't supposed to come out for like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, dude, there's that's crazy. But there's this new Ford Mustang coming out. It's called the Mach 1 or Mach 1, whichever you want to call it, and it's only in Europe pretty much, but it's supposed to be crazy. It's supposed to be like one of their fastest models yet. Absolutely looking forward to seeing it on the track.
I'm looking at it right now. This thing looks pretty cool. It comes out next year.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I'm
think
reading how it doesn't look different, but interior, like engine wise and stuff.
Yeah, I think Jack can understand like what my I guess liking for cars is and like what I look for when I'm looking at a car, and I guess he can understand that much. But I don't think he seems like the shame. I wouldn't call it a passion, but the interest in getting to one, like buying one of those cars. I think he likes looking at it, but I don't know. I don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we can understand what makes a car look good. I think I just understand what makes a car drivable and how I want to drive it. But also, being said, we're both extremely young, nowhere near a permit, or actually, that's not true. Jack, next year, you turn 16.
yeah. I could drive next year. I'm a little scared actually. I don't know if I'm the best guy to be driving on the road.
I think if you just learn how to merge a highway, you're fine.
I parallel parked a few times in the parking lot. I
My
wasn't
mom
bad.
refused to teach me how to drive yet, and I'm quite mad.
It's actually tell your mom to take you to play. No one's gonna know where Playland is, but
It's a,
take
I mean, okay, Playland amusement park in one of the surrounding towns where we live.
tell your mom or dad to take you and just put the car in neutral, so or whatever it's called, so the car can roll, and you can press on the gas lightly and just drive and like
You mean
practice going around the poles and parking.
you can't drive in neutral?
I didn't mean neutral. I just meant
Oh, and drive?
yeah.
Yeah, so I think, and especially where we live, there's not many manual cars, so we're both learning how to drive automatic. But my dream is to have an automatic car because
I was really good for my first time. My only big mistake was that I put the car in park while it was moving, and it slammed so hard and everyone went flying forward.
you have to slow down.
So
But
that
Jack,
was dumb.
we need to
I didn't.
go to a race. We need to go like I wouldn't say NASCAR, but there's like this racing like it's not Formula One, but it's like electronic Formula E bullshit. But
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
and we need to go. Like it's in the city, it's in Brooklyn, it's street racing, and honestly, I would just go for the eats and like the cars are an added bonus. I think it's one of the more fun things to do.
A lot of people do RC car racing now, and personally, I don't understand how that's fun. Like, it's fun, but like, why would you want to race a tiny little electric car?
Yeah, true. I don't understand it. I
My,
think
my
you'd
dad
want
has
to
a
be in the car.
friend who does that for a living.
Wow, what? Really? That's surprising.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a sport.
RC race car driving. Wow. I can't even imagine. Like especially for money too. That's a little weird. I think who was really big on RC cars and he would never let anyone drive his.
Who?
JT Kravinskis. Okay, let's talk a little about it. Let's talk a little bit about JTK, especially Papa K. JTK, insane weightlifter. Like I think he's got a 395 deadlift. Let's say he's 15 as well. His dad was like a professional bodybuilder. He even told me once that he was like working with John Cena or something. Their whole family's a bunch of meatheads. Sorry, what?
Are you talking about JT, right?
Yeah, JT.
Yeah, I actually literally my computer turned off again. That happens all the time, but my computer turned off and I come back and hear bodybuilder dad and I immediately know.
It's JT, man. Yeah, JT is he's a big man. His dad's a bigger man. It's honestly I haven't talked to him forever, but we were pretty good friends at one point. But enough with JTK. Very small subject I wanted to touch on. Yeah, I think Jack, me and you need to go to that for like. I just think we need to go to the city sometime soon because
We really do.
I really enjoy. Okay, we live in New York. New York City is what we're talking about for reference. Because I feel like if we keep saying the city, people will just get so confused, and we might be seeming like small town kids, and the city might be like, I don't know, a Walmart.
Yeah, like we live in outside of the city, so.
Yeah, very close actually. It's like a 40-minute train ride.
Mhm.
But if you're a
25-minute car ride without traffic.
True. Traffic is also a big dependent traffic. Let's do a little math. Traffic is the independent variable. The time to get to the city is the dependent variable.
Yeah.
And it really depends. It can take upwards like 25 minutes to like upwards maybe like maximum 2 hours if the traffic is that bad.
But it's worth it. It's a fun place. Not as fun right now because of COVID, but it's usually pretty cool.
You know what? You know what always hits better in the city? Christmas.
Saltwater.
No.
Saltwater dogs.
Imagine. No, Christmas season Starbucks.
We sound so.
We're very white, but you hear me out. You get that like snickerdoodle hot chocolate from Starbucks.
Oh no, it's a fact.
And then you
Anything
walk out
Christmas
into the cold city
awesome.
And your warmth from the Starbucks, bro. That is a vibe, especially if you're with someone. Especially if it's a significant other. Not that I've experienced it, but you know.
You gotta go do that now.
We have to go. We have to go to the city when it's colder. Get a snickerdoodle hot chocolate or coffee, and just walk around. Maybe go to Central Park or something.
Central Park's cool.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable walk. I think my favorite borough though with people is I guess Brooklyn, because
I've never been to Brooklyn.
Really?
I mean, I've been to Coney Island. That's it.
Brooklyn is like my most been to borough, I guess you could say. I went there a lot with my dad because there's a lot of cool sightseeing. Graffiti is one of them.
I've probably been to the Bronx the most, but I've hung out in Manhattan the most.
Yeah, I think Manhattan's second for me.
And then Queens probably just alone because of basketball and stuff, and like I've been to a lot of Mets games.
Yeah, Citi Field, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Citi Field. I'm not a big New York fan of sports, so I haven't really gone to much. I went to one Yankee game, and I had to root for them because I would have been actually bodied by my Uncle Joe. Jack knows
by the Bronx.
Jack knows who Joe is. Jack, you know who Joe is, right?
No.
you don't know.
Oh yeah. Joe, that's Christian's dad.
Yeah, it's Christian's dad. That's my cousin. Christian's my cousin. Joe's my uncle. He is a big man. He is the definition of a big man.
I wouldn't want to mess with him. Yeah, so I can tell you right now, anyone listening to this from out of New York, there's certain parts of the city that you're wasting your time. Like the Statue of Liberty, that shit is not cool.
You
want to go in the nasty water and go see that and be my guest.
Don't take the ferry. It's not that interesting. Don't go to Staten Island. Not fun. It's huge for some reason.
The coolest thing that has to do with Statue of Liberty is there's this boat called the Mad Dog, and it's a speedboat, and it takes you out and just goes really fast, and it passes all the sites.
One of the shores that do speedboating tours. They go like 60 to 80 miles per hour around the Statue of Liberty. No one wants to climb it. No one wants to be close to it. It's not that interesting. Me and Jack have both done it in school field trips and recent day.
Yeah.
Just take the speedboat. It's much more interesting and a lot more fun. And if you're scared of water and speeds, I guess you can take the ferry. But
who doesn't love muscular old men spraying you with water guns while you're cruising along the nasty Hudson River water? It's a great experience. I recommend it to all of you.
It's so true. There's these really old muscular men who have water guns and they spray you down when the water isn't going fast or when the boat isn't going fast enough. Oh, it's an experience. It's an experience, definitely. But all in all, definitely try it out. The speedboat is more fun than the muscular old men. Trust me. Yeah. Also, one other thing in New York. go check out some graffiti. I know it may sound like, oh, art, weird. It is insane, some of the stuff they do in Brooklyn with graffiti. That's like one of the main reasons I go, is to see graffiti and to skate. I'm not that good, but when I was with Portchester kids, I would skate.
On Lower East Side Manhattan, there's like a specific area literally just for graffiti, and there's things that you would think are like Picasso paintings that are actually just graffiti.
Yeah. Graffiti in New York City, probably the best in the world, in my opinion. I don't really know much about worldly graffiti, but New York has some pretty good stuff.
So I get New York as a city, you know. But before we move on,
New York
if you're gonna rank all the boroughs and average them together, I'm not doing that right now, it
Let's
probably comes out to like
give
a
your
9.
ranking. I'll give my ranking list, and then you'll give yours.
That's fair. Actually, we'll do it.
All right, 5 boroughs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1. Okay, logistically, it's Manhattan. Second, Brooklyn.
I'll do the math for you. Give each one a ranking out of 10.
Okay. Manhattan, a good 9 out of 10. It's the cleanest. It has a lot to do, and it's just an enjoyable time for new city goers because it's a tourist attraction. Next, 2, Brooklyn has the most interesting abstract graffiti.
What do you give it out of 10?
Eight, definitely 8. Lower than Manhattan because it's kind of dirty, but
it is.
The artwork,
it's really dirty.
The artwork, the Brooklyn Bridge is a lot of fun to walk around. There's cool stuff to do on the Hudson near Brooklyn. Just especially with friends is a lot more fun. Like group settings brings the rating higher than Queens for me.
Yeah.
Next, Queens.
Give it like a 6 out of 10.
It's good 6 to 7 because Queens.
We'll go 6.
Yeah, we'll go 6 because Queens doesn't have anything. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. I think I've had some really good eats in Queens, but very minimally. You know, I think I've played like I think I got into like
Queens bagels.
Queens, yeah, there is some good food in Queens. I think that's like the main thing they have. It's
also if you're not in New York or Canada,
if you're not in
do not go get a bagel. Do not go get a bagel.
If you're not in the 13 colonies, what are you doing, bro? Like biggest clowns I've ever seen.
Actually, no. We'll touch upon how New York food is superior in a minute, but let's finish our rankings of the city boroughs.
Okay, Queens 6 out of 10. Not that much to do. It's a lot more suburban, but good eats. Next, Bronx. Oh my god. Nasty borough. It's nasty. Dirty. I give it a 5 out of 10 because nothing compares to Staten Island. Bronx has some things to do, right? It's not boring.
Yeah.
But it's not interesting. It's not good food.
It's just not cool. It's just not that cool. Like there's like a mall or two. It's not that cool.
It's very minimal. It's very dirty. It's kind of fun sometimes. But what makes it better than Staten Island is that it's not a fucking island that you have to take a ferry to.
Well, you can't drive to Staten Island.
There's a bridge, but the traffic's always insane. So I never count the.
Doesn't Staten Island? It's really nice though, right?
Okay, that's one thing. It's super suburban. Most suburban part of the city. Can't change my mind, except for the new mall they built there. That's kind of fun. Has a Shake Shack, Nike factory. That's what's bringing up to a 4 for me, because Bronx was a 5 because I've actually been in the Bronx a lot. My dad.
New York City as a whole for you, even though Manhattan should be its own weighted thing, came out to a 6.4.
Oh, you've been adding this shit. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna do mine real quick. Just gonna run it off because I don't want to drag this too much.
Yeah, we're not gonna drag this on, but
Manhattan's a 10.
Yeah, I'll let you have that.
Brooklyn is a 9.5. The Bronx is a 4. I just don't love it. That's nothing against the Bronx. I just don't love it. Staten Island's I've never been. I actually have never been. So we'll just say a 5. Yeah, Keep it average.
I only hate on it because the few times I went, it was just not interesting and not fun to go to.
And Queens is actually just a 7 because it's not horrible.
Therefore, it's just a borough, you know. It's just a
7.1. 7.1. So
okay, no, but the thing is, I don't want to average all of that because Staten Island and Bronx are kind of their own long lost brothers who happen.
See, but people wouldn't say that if you ask New Yorkers like us, most people would probably be like, "Oh, Staten Island and Queens are their own thing. Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn is city."
No, but okay, that is true. City wise, Bronx is better than Queens,
Yeah,
but
I'm looking at Staten Island right now. It looks like nice, but it's
it
just
is
I
nice
can't
as
tell if it
hell.
has a Ferris wheel. I can't tell if it's nice or not.
It's super nice, but that's the thing. Nice places are never fun. It's really not fun to be at all, especially if you don't live near the ferry or like the new mall that they built.
I can't find the mall. I found a place called Staten Island. Oh, this is the mall.
it's just suburban houses. It's really not that interesting in my opinion. There was a good Ock I went to. Ock is a
Good Ock.
chef deli, whatever, in Staten Island. But in my opinion, Staten Island I just never had a good time in Staten Island. That's why it's so low
There's
for
a
me.
lot of Italians.
Yeah, I mean, I think Staten Island and Queens, would be separated because they're more suburban than each
There's
other.
beach houses in Staten Island. It's like
It's
nice.
so rich. It's so rich. Which
I didn't expect that.
it makes it boring for me though. I can't have that, you know. But the city part, including Bronx, Manhattan.
It's also bigger than I thought.
It's a lot bigger. It is a lot bigger.
Is it the biggest borough?
I don't know actually.
I actually am just baffled because I always forget this place is a borough.
No one knows what Staten Island is. It's a joke.
What is the biggest borough in New York? Whoa.
Is it Staten?
Hold up.
Or is it Manhattan?
All right. It's Manhattan's last.
Oh, I guess
It's Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, the Bronx, Manhattan. I actually knew Queens was the biggest. I forgot. Queens is huge.
Brooklyn is huge as well. Queens and Brooklyn are massive boroughs.
Queens goes into Long Island pretty much.
No, but have you seen those like huge apartment buildings, like the wasteland of Queens?
Yeah.
That's what makes it kind of huge.
I didn't expect Manhattan to be the smallest.
New York City as a whole, not including Staten Island, is a 9. A solid 9. It is actually the whole city is a 9. It's a great city. It's not that dirty as people would expect.
It's not.
If you compare it to some other cities, some other mega cities, which is the new term, metropolitan areas that have more than 10 million residents.
It's so much better than LA. I can't speak for Chicago, but
and nicer.
I can say it's better. I can say it's better than LA.
Exactly.
And
New York is where you want to be.
Cool.
Bow.
Good bow.
Pop Smoke. You know I'm on that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're gonna veer away from the New York City. We both agree it's a great place to be. We live in such a good location. We need to do so much in the city, me and Jack, because we've never actually gone together. Is that weird?
Yeah, I think I want to go in December. I want to go around Christmas time.
Me and Jack have had our own city experiences, and we've never gone together. It's been the weirdest thing. I think next year, once I turn 15 and you turn 16, we'll have a lot more freedom to go.
Yeah,
especially
that's true.
Since I'll have a job by then. I think you will too. You know, thanks to you guys, this could become our job by then.
That's a fact. This could become our job.
This could be a whole thing. We could be doing this every day. We could be telling our stories. We could be doing so much more if we just had a little more support. But like I said again, criticism is always necessary for a channel because you have to have the bads before you have the goods, and we obviously aren't expecting huge expectations.
Yeah. But I want to see some growth.
We all want to see some growth, Jack. But well, I mean, it's just the two of us now. We're hopefully have a little more guests. Really hoping for Taylor. We're really like almost on our hands and knees praying for Mark because we don't even know what's going on with that man. No offense to him though. I don't actually know what happened to Mark. He just kind of, I wouldn't say fell off, but that could be a good term.
Just don't hear from him.
We don't hear from him. You didn't hear from me. That we don't hear from. Just the guy on the microphone. But the thing was, like, I was so, like, kind of baffled that he just dipped on the three of us. Me, you, and Ben.
Me too.
I just don't know what happened. And wasn't he friends with Dalton for a while? Dalton is another acquaintance of ours. Yeah.
He was.
Enough about the long lost soul, Mark. let's veer away from our lives in New York. I want to talk a little bit about how you feel about the election, Jack. I know I'm having it's a little trouble getting out. Just 2 minutes of your time on what do you feel about Biden and what do you feel?
I literally just can't.
Honestly,
I can't. I just don't have a.
No, we're
I
not
don't
even
have
talk
a
about the election.
political
That was
opinion.
just been in my mind for the past 10 minutes. But what do you feel about that picture of Trump crying in front of the White House? That made me so sad for him, and I was just pitying him.
He didn't win. It's all good. You just gotta move on.
I don't think
Maybe the country needs to change. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I felt really bad for him. He was kind of sad. I think they're doing some investigation. Blah blah blah. Doesn't matter. It could have been worse. Could have been better. Blah blah blah. We could have had Andrew Yang, my son. I loved Andrew Yang. He's my favorite guy ever. But yeah, I'm done with politics. Sorry about that. I didn't know if I wanted to ask about the picture of Trump or just how you felt about Biden. But I'm done with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I talked about Ticino last episode, and Jack had no idea who he was. And I'm just thinking,
Still don't.
How can this man? Yeah, you gotta look him up after this episode too. He's actually one of the best 2K players. Can't change my mind. No, you gotta look this man up. He's actually funny as shit can be. It's just really interesting, and he's insane too. So Jack, what's your 2K?
I don't watch a lot of 2K YouTube.
Oh, I see. But Jack, you said what's your 2K gonna be? Offensive facilitator?
Yeah, probably.
I think that'd be good.
Either that or just a center paint beast.
That would be smart. I think we should get Ben to be what's the corner sitting build, perimeter lockdown?
Yep.
Yeah, we need to just make him be able to green threes consistently. So that's gonna be our comp build, I guess. Our comp threes team.
And we're gonna destroy the courts.
We're gonna destroy the courts, man. It's gonna be crazy. This is wow. So Jack, I know you're 6'5". You play a little bit of basketball every now and then. No, I'm kidding. You're that's your sport. How is the season like because of COVID?
It's getting pushed back again till January.
Wow. Wait, really?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you about this even off the podcast. Wow, that's crazy. For me, I play tennis. I know. Don't need to tell me that it's a girl sport or it's a pussy thing to do. I don't care. Probably whoop your ass if I gave you a year to play and get better than me. But I want to bring up an argument that my dad brought up. I was telling him, I'm I always get in arguments with kids when I was back in Portchester. Soccer and football were the main sports, and since I told them I played tennis, everyone would laugh at me. And he'd be like, just tell them this: if you gave me a year to play your sport, and you gave them a year to play tennis, you'd probably whoop their ass in both. And I was like, that's fair. Because I don't think people realize that tennis is extremely technical and actually really hard. But I'm my season. I don't even know what's going on. I just play at a club. So
tennis is, people don't give it credit, but it's hard.
I think one of the first things when I disliked Ben, the one thing that always gave me a little bit of respect for him is that he defended me when it came to the tennis subject, because he understood that it was a hard sport. And I was like, thank you. That was one of the things I enjoyed talking to him, or liked about him, that he defended what sports you played. The only thing I will never defend him for is wrestling. That is the gayest thing ever.
Yeah.
Wrestling is just munching on other men's peens, bro. It's nasty. I think
I gotta agree.
such a dumb sport. I wouldn't say it's a dumb sport, but they make it look terrible. When they're taking pictures of the worst moments. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I think Jack already said a little bit about this episode 3, but we're gonna be starting our own channels, individual. I think
That is true.
Jack will be focusing a little bit more, I think, on Among Us, right? You're really into that game, or content creating for that game, right?
Yeah, I'll try to produce some of that content.
Yeah, I think Jack likes Among Us. I also like Among Us. I wish we had 10. I wish we had a group of 10 that we could consistently play with, especially on Discord, because that's the only way we can really record Among Us if we were all on Discord. But the problem with that is we are, I guess, a little ahead of our ex-podcastees. They are not really on the same content wavelength, I guess, that me and Jack are on. It's
Among Us it's its own breed. It's so fun.
We're a different breed. Among Us is a lot of fun. I think my channel might be more focused on a game called Rust, and just, I guess, improv, because I enjoy comedy. Comedy's a lot of fun to do. And investing, Mr. S, Jordan Belfort, Gary V, you already know how it is.
We touched up on that a lot last episode.
That was a lot. I think it's so early in the morning. I can't really think of anything. I think we might have to end it here, Jack.
We might. Today was a little bit of a quick episode.
We just wanted, I think the problem with the quantity and quality, what's the word? Quantity and quality subject is that we're just two kids.
That's a fact. We don't have the most exciting stories sometimes.
Exactly. We're not the most interesting people. We're not the most exciting people. But I hope you guys can just maybe make you laugh one day, maybe make you smile, maybe make you enjoy your day even more when you guys hear our podcast, And I'm gonna say this every podcast now: criticism always helps, support always helps. If you can do either, if you even just show any I don't know, I wouldn't say hint, but any what would be a word? Not choice. Showing
just
any showing
constructive criticism.
Yeah, any showing of positivity or negativity, just interact with the video. That would mean more to us than just ignoring it. You don't understand how much that would mean. Well,
he's right. What he said,
I think we were a little dry this morning, even though we had our water. I honestly, I enjoyed this episode. It was good talks. I really like the topic of New York.
Me too.
Because me and Jack, New Yorkers, you know how it is. You know the vibes.
Yes, sir.
It's your boy C Bands.
Bands.
No, I love New York, and New York loves us. What can I say? So I'm glad we got to that's one of our favorite topics. I'm glad we got to touch on it. Thank you so much for listening. We remember, if you enjoy it, share with your friends. If you think they'd enjoy it, if you didn't enjoy it, tell us what you didn't like about it. Comment it, dislike the video. Just thank you for show your time here. It would mean the world. Obviously, being more supportive than negative is always a lot more appreciated. But thank you guys so much. Jack, close it out.
Alright guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was enjoyable. Make sure to tune in for the next one, and that's it. Make sure to share this with your friends. Thank you.
It's your boy C Bands and Jack Bands, and we are gonna end in the BTBS podcast, Beyond the Bullshit. Goodbye.